Hello everyone, I am Dr. Himanshu. I am a neurosurgeon. This is the first video in the neuroanatomy series that we will be discussing over next few weeks. In this video, we will discuss the overview of the central nervous system. Now we all know that nervous system has been divided grossly into central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system mainly comprises of the brain and the spinal cord. Now the brain is protected into a cranial cavity and the spinal cord is protected into a vertebral canal or the spinal cavity. Okay. So in this video we will discuss the overview of the brain. Before going into depth anatomy of the brain, first we need to understand what are the important parts and let us get an overview of the gross anatomy of the brain. So I've gotten this rough model of the brain. This is a plastic form model and you can see now I'm holding this brain into the anatomical position. This is how my brain would be. As you can see, this is the right side, this is left side, this is the inferior side and this is the superior side, this is the front and this is the back. Now okay, this I am looking the brain from the right side, so this is the right lateral view of the brain coming back to front, and this is the left lateral view of the brain. Now the brain is divided into 5 parts. We have the cerebrum, we have the diencephalon, which is not visible from the outside. We have the cerebellum, which is the inferior or the posterior part of the brain. We have the brainstem, which is formed of 3 parts. One is the midbrain, second is pons, and then the medulla oblongata. Now let's talk about the cerebrum. Now the cerebrum is the largest part of the brain. It is comprised of the cranial cavity. It lies in the cranial cavity and it occupies the anterior cranial fossa, middle cranial fossa, and the supratentorial part of the posterior cranial fossa. So this is the huge part is the cerebrum. Now the surface of the cerebrum is very convoluted. It is a wavy surface, and in the part of the surface which is outpouching is known as the gyrus, and the part of the surface which is going inside or which is indenting inside is known as the sulcus. Now we can see that both the sides of the cerebrum are divided in the midline, and it divides it into a right cerebral hemisphere and a left cerebral hemisphere. This is known as median longitudinal fissure. Now fissure is also a sulcus, but which lies a sulcus which goes into the entire depth of the brain surface is known as fissure. So we have 2 fissures in the cerebrum. One is the median longitudinal fissure, and if you look on each side, this is not the fissure. If you look on each side, we have another fissure which is known as the lateral fissure or lateral sulcus, or more commonly it is known as the Sylvian fissure. So this is the Sylvian fissure that you can see it is present on both the sides. The cerebrum also has 3 surfaces. This is the superolateral surface, this is the basal surface, and upon cutting the cerebrum in the sagittal plane, we can also see the medial surface. To a certain extent, you can see the medial surface, the superolateral surface, the basal surface, and the medial surface. Now, in the in-depth video of the cerebrum, of the gross anatomy of the cerebrum, we will look at all the different gyri and the sulci on the cerebral surface. But grossly, the cerebrum is divided into 4 lobes, which is the frontal lobe. Frontal lobe lies above the Sylvian fissure and in front of the central sulcus. Then we have the parietal lobe. Parietal lobe lies posterior to the central sulcus, and again it is above the Sylvian fissure. We have the occipital lobe, which lies on the most posterior part, and we have the temporal lobe. Temporal lobe is the lobe which lies below the Sylvian fissure when you are looking on the right side of the brain. So this is the temporal lobe, this is the occipital lobe, this is the parietal lobe, and this is the largest lobe, which is the frontal lobe. So that is the cerebrum. Now cerebrum consists of an outer covering of a gray matter which is known as the cerebral cortex. Within this cortex there are different fibers of white fibers, and hence mainly it is white matter. But also in the deepest part of the cerebrum there are masses of gray matter which are known as the deep nuclei or the basal ganglia. We will study these basal ganglia deeply into another video in a detailed discussion. Now once we remove the cerebrum, the part that lies in the core or in the central part of the brain is known as the diencephalon. I will try to disassemble this model. Let us have a look at the diencephalon. From this specimen on the right side, I have removed the temporal part of the cerebrum. It's a temporal lobe, and also within the temporal part there was this cerebellum, which was like this. So I removed this just to give you an overview of the diencephalon. And this is a diencephalon, right, along with the brainstem. Now the diencephalon, if you look from front, this is the front view of the diencephalon. You can see two large oval masses on each side of the diencephalon. This is the front side, this is the back side, and these are the two lateral sides. The diencephalon consists of 5 structures. We have a large oval masses known as the thalamus, which have 2 thalami on each side. Around the thalamus, there are different parts of thalamus, namely the epithalamus, the hypothalamus, the subthalamus, and the metathalamus. So these are the 5 parts that form the diencephalon. We will study each of them separately into a detailed video. Now this thalami, on outside of the thalamus is the white fibers, the layer of white fibers known as internal capsule, which connects the entire cerebrum to the brainstem. Now the brainstem, if you look from side, the brainstem is divided into 3 parts. We have a midbrain, we have a pons, and we have the medulla. Midbrain, pons, and the medulla oblongata. Below the medulla, this continues as a spinal cord. Now, posterior to the medulla attaches the cerebellum. So this is how the cerebellum is attached over here. Like this, and another cerebellum goes like this. This is how the cerebellum attaches to the brainstem via 3 peduncles. Superior peduncle connects the cerebellum and the midbrain. The middle peduncle connects the cerebellum and the pons, and the inferior peduncle connects the cerebellum and the medulla oblongata. So I have reattached this specimen to give you an overview. So beneath this cerebrum lies the diencephalon, which continued as midbrain, the pons, and the medulla oblongata, and connected to the brainstem was the cerebellum. Please note that the cerebellum is not directly connected to the cerebrum. There is a fold of dura mater, which is known as the tentorium cerebelli, which separates the cerebrum and the occipital lobe. So cerebellum is connected only to the brainstem or the pons, medulla, and the midbrain. Right. Now, if we look at the medial surface, this I have cut the entire specimen into a sagittal section. This is the right side, this is the left side, but I have cut it in the medial section. In the medial part, you can see this is a large C-shaped mass of white matters, which is known as the corpus callosum. Corpus callosum is a structure of horizontal fibers which connect the white matter of the corresponding areas of both the cerebrum. This is the corpus callosum. Also, below to the corpus callosum lies the third ventricle. The ventricular system is a system of which contains CSF or the cerebrospinal fluid, and it is divided into different ventricles. We have the lateral ventricles within the substance of the cerebral hemisphere. Both the lateral ventricles open into the third ventricle, which lies below the corpus callosum. The third ventricle continues from the cerebral aqueduct as a fourth ventricle. It is not very well seen in this model. So here lies the fourth ventricle, which between the brainstem. This is the brainstem of the pons, and it also lies between the cerebellum, and hence it continues and opens into the subarachnoid space. So this is the medial surface of the brain. We can see the cut section of this is the third ventricle. This is the midbrain. This is the pons. This is the medulla. And attach the corresponding halves. So this is your brain is again back as a whole. Now please note it has also has an inferior surface. The inferior surface, if you look like this, you look from the basal side of the basal surface, we can see we have the frontal surface, frontal basal surface. We also have the temporal basal surface. The cerebellum will be separated by a tentorium cerebelli, and we can see that we have a basal surface of the temporal lobe as well as the occipital lobe. On the inferior surface, mainly we have the origin of the various cranial nerves. This, what you can see, is olfactory bulb or the olfactory nerve. Then there will be optic nerve and optic chiasma. We will have the pituitary stalk. Behind the pituitary stalk, we will have the tuber cinereum, two mammillary bodies, and we will have the interpeduncular fossa. We will study these surfaces via different diagrams in different videos. For now, let us conclude this video. So this is the overview of the brain as a part of the central nervous system, and then we will study brain in detail. Thank you.